After you die, after your days are fulfilled on earth, what you lived for is the only thing that is going to matter. Knowing this truth will help you to know how to walk here on earth. Knowing this truth will help you to know how to operate with men here on earth. Because what you lived for is going to be the only thing that will count in the afterlife. Don't be deceived though. The most graphical representation of what happens in the afterlife was visioned to us by Christ when he spake the parable of Lazarus and the rich man in Luke chapter 16 from verses 19 to 31. He gave us an instance of Lazarus and the rich man, how that the rich man was living carelessly, he was rich. Now are you getting it? He was rich. That is, we can attribute that to popularity, we can attribute that to feeding well, wearing good clothes, all kinds of letting. He had the privilege of of participating in. He had all of those privileges. But one thing was sure, that both him and Lazarus, after they left the earth, they met somewhere. Lazarus eventually got to heaven, because what gives you the privilege of accessing heaven is accepting God. Is accepting God above everything. Is accepting the word of God. Is accepting the Son of God, Jesus Christ. Is accepting the standards of God. That's what gives you access to heaven. Your background, your denomination does not give you access to heaven. God through Christ does. Your religion does not give you. So Christianity also is not a yardstick. You get it now? It's your belief in God and his Son Jesus Christ that gives you access to heaven after you die. So the rich man rejected God, was casted into the lake of fire, and the Bible told us that his consciousness was fully intact. He knew that he was a rich man in hell, but just that his location did not reflect who he was. And what happened? Lazarus was sitting on Abraham's bosom. Who is Abraham? A patriarch that followed God in faith against all odds, against all prejudices, against all circumstances, against all of the prevailing occurrences that were found in his days. Many people chose to glory in other things, but he chose to glory in the Lord. He chose to follow the path of light, and that was how the Lord now picked him and made him to become one that his name will be exalted, not just only on earth but also in the days to come. Afterlife is the life of reward. It's the life that knows no end. Everything you are doing on earth is a miniature expression of the truth that is going to come after the now. So they went to different locations, but this truth was standing, that rewards are not going to come based on what you felt, but it is based on how you lived and what you lived for. For Lazarus, in as much as he was insignificant and inconsequential, his reward came because he chose to follow the path of light. The rich man was wealthy, but he was despised because the path of light was not chosen by him. So you are rewarded based on what you lived for. What will matter is what you lived for. What you lived for. Are you living for God and the people, or you are living for yourself and your ambition? After you die, after your days are fulfilled on earth, what you lived for is the only thing that is going to matter.